Level 1, $10,000. You walk into a high-end hotel with a reservation and a suitcase that has seen airports. The lobby smells like citrus and money. Marble under your shoes. Soft music that costs more per month than your phone bill. The front desk looks at the screen before they look at you. Your name is there. Your card is there. Somehow you are still a maybe. The agent smiles with the top half of her face. She says check-in is after 3. It is 2:40. She says the room is not ready. She says you can wait in the lobby. There is no offer to hold your bag. There is no water. There is a velvet rope that is not a rope. It is a pause. You sit on a chair that costs more than your monthly rent and feel yourself become a booking. The lobby continues without you. Suitcases roll. Elevators open for other names. Not a guest. A booking. A line item waiting for inventory. A man in a better jacket walks in behind you with no reservation energy at all. He is taken upstairs in 4 minutes. You watch it happen and tell yourself timing. It is not timing. 20 minutes later, she calls your name wrong. You correct her. She does not apologize. She slides a key folder across the marble like she is done with a chore. The room is near the elevator. The ice machine hums through the wall. The view is a brick wall and a slice of sky. You paid the rate the website promised. The hotel paid you the minimum required by the reservation. That night, you ask for extra towels. Housekeeping says someone will come. Nobody comes. You call again. They apologize with a sentence that has been used 1,000 times and still does not produce towels. In the morning, breakfast is crowded. Nobody seats you. You stand with a tray like a person who wandered in from a different building. The staff moves around you with practiced grace, the kind reserved for people they already ranked. You check out early. The agent asks if everything was satisfactory. You say fine. Fine is the word you use when the truth would require a speech. The first rule at $10,000. A high-end hotel does not reject you. It simply never starts treating you like you arrived in the first place. Level 2, $50,000. Something small shifts. Not in the architecture, in the timing. Your reservation is found in one search. The agent says welcome and almost means it. The room is ready at 2:10. Not early because you are special, early because the system has no reason to delay you. You get a higher floor. Still near the elevator, still not a suite. But the brick wall is gone. You can see a street. The minibar has a handwritten note that is not handwritten. It is printed to look personal. You ask for a late checkout. She says she can do noon, not 1, noon. You take it and feel oddly grateful for a boundary that barely moved. At dinner in the hotel restaurant, you wait 12 minutes for a table under your own name. When you sit, the server is polite, the way manuals are polite, efficient, empty. You leave a tip that feels generous to you. Nobody remembers you the next morning. The same server asks if you have stayed here before. You have. That is the point. The doorman holds the door and does not use your name. At checkout, the bill is correct on the first try. No one upgrades you. No one insults you. You pass through the building like clean paperwork. The second rule. At $50,000, the hotel stops resisting you. It still does not choose you. Level 3, $150,000. You feel it in the eyes first. The agent glances at the screen, and her posture changes by half an inch. Not warmth, recognition. Your profile has a small flag now. Not elite, not ignored. The middle. She uses your name twice. She offers a room away from the elevator without you asking. The view is the city, not the alley. There is fruit in the room that nobody will admit has a cost. You mention the AC is loud. Maintenance arrives in 20 minutes with an apology that sounds rehearsed and still works. At the restaurant, your name is already on a list. The wait is 4 minutes. The server asks if you are celebrating anything. You are not. The question is a script for people who look like they might tip in a way that matters. You get a late checkout until 1 without negotiating. In the morning, the concierge remembers you asked about a museum yesterday. He has 2 options ready. Not because he likes you, because your tear makes memory profitable. You walk through the lobby and notice the pause is gone. Not replaced by love. Replaced by efficiency that includes you. You realize something the brochure never says. Luxury service is not kindness. It is pattern matching. And at $150,000, your pattern finally matches a guest. The third rule. You are no longer processed. You are preferred lightly. Preferred is not loved. Preferred is useful, and useful is the first time the building bothers to learn your patterns. Level 4, $500,000. The hotel starts solving problems before you finish describing them. You arrive late because of a delayed flight. A manager is already at the desk. Not the agent. A manager. He has a key. He has a room 1 category above what you booked. He says we wanted you to be comfortable after the delay. We, as if the building has a collective heart. It does not. It has a risk model for guests who leave bad reviews and stop returning. Your bag appears in the room without you watching it. The robe is thicker. The street noise is gone. You call down about a stain on the chair. They move you in 12 minutes and send champagne you did not ask for. You do not like champagne. That is not the point. The point is speed. At dinner, the host seats you near the window without a wait. Someone refills your water before you notice it empty. The check takes less courage to request. Checkout is a message on your phone. No line, no speech, no performance of gratitude required from either side. A friend named Callum stays in the same hotel the same week on a points deal. He waits for his room until 4. He tells you the staff was fine. Fine, you say nothing. You now understand that fine is a tier. Fine is what the hotel gives people it can replace by Friday. You also understand that upgrades are not random acts of hospitality. They are retention tools aimed at people the hotel has decided are worth keeping. The 4th rule. At $500,000, the hotel is not being nice. The hotel is protecting a relationship it does not want to replace. Level 5, $1 million. You stop introducing yourself. The building does it for you. The doorman says your name on the 2nd visit of the year. The agent does not look surprised when you walk in. She looks prepared. Your preferred floor is already noted. Feather pillows, quiet room, late checkout as default. You did not request them this time. The system did. When the shower pressure fails at 11 p.m., the night manager comes himself. Not a ticket. A person. He offers a suite for the rest of the stay while they fix it. You almost refuse out of habit. Then you remember habit is for people the hotel can afford to inconvenience. You take the suite. In the restaurant, the chef sends something extra. The check takes longer to ask for than to pay. A staff member named Odette remembers you do not like mint in the water. You mentioned it once 8 months ago. The memory is not romance. It is training. Training that only activates above a certain number. You walk through the lobby and feel a strange quiet. Not peace. Exemption. Exemption from the small frictions that train other guests to be grateful for basics. A couple argues softly at the desk about a rate. Nobody argues with you about rates anymore. The conversation has moved to preferences. Rates are for people the system is still evaluating. The 5th rule. At $1 million, you are no longer asking the hotel for service. The hotel is asking how to keep you from noticing other hotels. Level 6, $3 million. Arrival changes. You do not wait at the desk. Someone meets you at the car. Your bag disappears into hands that do not ask which bag is which. There is a welcome that is not a script. Or it is a better script. Harder to see the seams. The room is not a room. It is a category the website buries under request only. There is a direct number on a card, not the main line. A person. When you call, a human answers on the 2nd ring. No hold music, no menu. You want a table at a restaurant that is full. It becomes available. You want an early check-in after an overnight flight. The suite is ready at 9:40 a.m. A maintenance issue on your floor is handled while you are at breakfast, so you never hear the noise. The hotel is no longer reacting to you. It is orbiting you. At the bar, a regular who spends loudly gets a polite delay. You get the corner seat without asking. You did not become kinder. You became expensive to disappoint. Callum visits again and texts you from the lobby. He says they put him near the ice machine. You look at your quiet suite and feel the gap open like a shaft. Same brand, same city, different gravity. You could walk Callum through the lobby and the building would still sort you into different weather systems. The staff does not explain the difference. They do not have to. You can feel it in the seconds between request and result. The 6th rule. At $3 million, the hotel does not host you. The hotel defends you from the experience everyone else is still having. Level 7, $10 million. You do not have a reservation in the normal sense. You have a relationship. The general manager emails before you fly. Not marketing. Logistics. Your arrival time, your preferences, the name of the person assigned to you for the stay. There is no line. There is a side entrance when you want one. The suite is prepared the way a home is prepared for someone who can leave and never come back. That threat is never spoken. It is priced into every gesture. When a neighbor on your floor is loud, the neighbor is moved. Not you. When you want the rooftop closed for an hour for a private dinner, the rooftop becomes available. Rules that exist for the building bend around your calendar. Staff members you have never met already know you drink espresso after dinner and hate scented candles. The knowledge feels intimate. It is institutional. 3 people inside the hotel now have a quiet professional interest in your satisfaction. Losing you would show up in a meeting, not as a sad story, as a number, as a retention problem with a name and a travel calendar. You walk into the lobby and the air changes the way air changes around a problem the staff has been briefed to prevent. A first-time guest waits with a suitcase near the same chair you once occupied at $10,000. Nobody tells him what he is looking at. You are not a guest at $10 million. You are a priority the building organizes itself around. The same marble that ignored you at $10,000 now reflects a version of you the system decided to protect. Somewhere right now, someone with $10,000 is standing at a high-end front desk. Their room is not ready. The smile is only half a smile. Their name is almost right. They are told to wait in the lobby with a suitcase and a reservation that should have been enough. They do not know yet that the system is not broken. The system is working exactly the way it was built to. The same hotel that will one day meet them at the car is currently teaching them what their number buys. You are the same person at every balance. The hotel just decides who you are, based on what it can lose if it gets you wrong. High-end hotels do not change at every level. The mask does. And once you have seen the mask move, you never unsee the lobby again. You just start noticing who the marble is for.